The Coin Lady channel is pleased to have you back. Dear everyone, we may expect Judge Torres to hand down his ruling in the SEC Ripple case within the next 6 months, at the latest. Moreover, due to the fact that we are aware of what is forthcoming, and it may come at any moment. I suppose you could say imminent. Within our community, nevertheless, there is extensive discourse. Is this going to affect XRP's price? Thrillingly surging. As you may be aware, we finally achieved legal certainty for XRP on Victory Day, July 13, 2023. By the way, the 1-year anniversary is approaching shortly. When that happened, you also know. The price, sure enough, went up twofold in only a few hours. Although that was the end of it. A single buck eluded us. Well, things are different now. You might have come up with some important ideas on your own before. But the chances of this actually happening are what? I'll tell you what I think about this. On top of that, I believe my stance is reasonably well reasoned and convincing. So, even if you disagree with me at this very now, I will still strive very hard to convince you that I am right. My reasons may not be compelling to you, and that's perfectly acceptable. To be friends, we need not agree. Please tell me what I'm doing wrong, or what you believe I'm missing. A few days ago, though, this headline appeared in which the Crypto Basic X-Ripple director explained the immobility of the XRP price. Plus, Sean McBride is helping them regain perspective. Once again, someone who has worked at both Google and Amazon before joining Ripple. In light of all the good press surrounding XRP recently, a member of their community, by the name of Johnny, wrote to him, asking his perspective on why the price has dropped rather than risen. Keep in mind that Sean McBride is a huge XRP bull, and here is what he had to say as a former employee of Ripple. He is still heavily in favor of Ripple even if he is no longer employed there. Regardless, the following was stated. Until Judge Torres issues her ruling, the price of XRP will remain relatively unchanged, as I believe I've already stated. So, it's clear that those who think otherwise are completely mistaken. I was then prompted to say this. I can't be sane if I don't immediately return to my thoughts. However, I suppose it indicates that I am mentally unstable since I politely disagree and hold a different viewpoint. It goes on nevertheless. Legislation in the United States is the next major component. Given recent events in Congress, I hope that is soon to be a reality. And, should he win the presidency, Trump's dedication to cryptocurrency. I believe we learn more about the truth behind the scenes once Torres makes her choice. We institutions collaborating with Ripple will simply have to wait and see if this presents an opportunity to turn the switch on. Assuming that to be true, it baffles me why they would squander so much effort getting the 40 or so MTLS money transmitter licenses required to process payments in the US. Just to clarify. Also, it's no secret that the US is still using on-demand liquidity, but they're switching to a stablecoin from XRP. This is due to the lack of clarity. And in theory, that could be resolved. The future is completely uncertain to me. However, the remedies section of this case may resolve the matter. It might also work the opposite way around. And I have touched on that briefly. But absolutely, if that's adequately clarified, additional entities in the US may be encouraged. And that's okay. Although I do believe that we have passed the worst of it, XRP is still serving as a bridge currency in many parts of the globe that do not have direct access to the US dollar. Additionally, Ripple has every reason in the world to keep XRP as its primary asset for liquidity. After all, I fail to see why Ripple would rationalize altering that. However, the issue remains, what will this clarity imply for XRP? Since I mentioned yesterday that this is a social networking platform X in my post, when the SEC v. Ripple case concludes, I'm not claiming the XRP price won't go up. Just wanted to point out that XRP has had legal clarity for about a year now, so if that happens, it's just illogical. Nevertheless, as the lawsuit states, it is of no consequence to the average XRP holder. Alright, and that is a rather straightforward statement. I've said a lot of things that are nearly identical to what you just read, if not identical, in the past several weeks and months, so I can definitely elaborate on it. I would like to elaborate a bit more on this, though, because I received some very insightful comments on my last piece. Because of that, I decided to elaborate on my thoughts a bit further. Elmer Bratz, also known as Brad Simon, is an XRP community member who made a post in which he made an incorrect statement. And in his correspondence with me, he expressed a small disagreement on this matter. The viability of utilizing XRP in the restructured contracts will be determined by the clarity of Ripple's use case. It will be possible to replace Tether with XRP if the contracts that use it are approved. Unless I'm missing something, which is totally feasible, I believe this is a fairly significant verdict for XRP's usability in the US. That seemed like a reasonable reaction to me. Plus, I wanted to add a few more things to my thinking. This is what I wrote until. At this time, XRP is not being utilized in ODM in any corridor that touches the US, but it is being utilized in all other corridors globally. There will be almost little effect on XRP's long-term sustainability if, hypothetically, the Taurus rule prevents its usage in any US channel. The full XRP ledger ecosystem is far more complex than that. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if the market doesn't get it and prices go ballistic because of the verdict. That, however, is an illogical course of action. Also, just so we're clear, XRP utilized in OTL in non-US corridors will be unaffected by any rule judgments. Very well. Regardless of this decision, XRP will remain the principal bridge currency. Now that AI is involved, XRP can be driven by positive news, positive perceptions of good news, and this verdict in the remedies section. Very well. However, I fail to see how that is logically sound. I also think it's crystal evident that there are a lot of individuals who either haven't given this enough consideration, or just don't grasp the full scope of the rulings made by Judge Taurus. Whatever the case may be, I think we can all agree that XRP's legal standing is solid. Regardless of the volatility that has occurred in the past few days, or months, given that we have been range-bound, I know that we are in a bull market, because I think it's plain to see. And so there are times when the markets spike in response to any kind of news. As the saying goes, the straw that breaks the camel's back, and it doesn't even have to be something very significant. So, I answered, I get it, because it may drive up the price of XRP. That doesn't make sense to me. Also, I just wanted to bring up the fact that there's a strong reason to invest in index funds. Those plain old exchange-traded funds, ETFs, that follow the S&P 500 when planning for retirement. The rationale is that you need to acquire exposure to a lot of different markets. The question then becomes whether you can succeed in beating the market as an investor rather than a stock picker. No need to be concerned about that. Just because you take the market's collective knowledge and throw it all together. Indeed, that is it. And while markets can be efficient, they can also lead to bad choices in some cases. However, this is why having a wide-ranging presence in a market helps to level the playing field. Some companies succeed while others fail. Additionally, not having complete transparency can lead to uncertainty, even though the SEC mandates specific disclosures, which can be a problem. Even while that is true, I've come to realize that with regard to certain cryptocurrencies like XRP, it's possible for individuals to be mistaken and the asset can still vanish. That's why I brought it up now. That defies all logic and reason. My only point is that I humbly believe it does, in fact, function on the basis of positive perceptions. This is completely illogical. XRP is here to stay. Take a peek at everything else that has been going on recently. This has been on my mind. Total value locked will be helped by the stablecoin, the Autumn, Ripple stablecoin, the automated market maker, and so on. A few examples are XRP, Ledger, and the EVM sidechain. The XRP ledger will see a dramatic increase in activity as a result of that. In recent days, there has been an abundance of good news. The video ends there. Support my channel with a like and a subscription. Muchas gracias, depart.